Uvalde police have just threatened to charge a mother of two with obstruction of justice if she continues to speak out about the shooting that her children were present in. Let's dive into it. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Rashad Crenshaw back again with another video. Now, the Uvalde police have just recently threatened to charge a mother of two of the Uvalde shooting students with obstruction of justice if she continues speaking to the media. Thankfully, her children are alive and well, and she is in fact the mother who charged into the school unarmed with no body armor, no weapons, no nothing. I don't know if you guys heard about that woman, but this is her. And she in fact spoke with the media. Let's look at it.
Arrest you because you're being very uncooperative. I said, well, you're going to have to arrest me because I'm going in there, and I'm telling you right now, I don't see none of y'all in there. Y'all are standing with snipers and y'all are far away. If y'all don't go in there, I'm going in there. He immediately put me in cuffs.
She says after Uvalde police officers told marshals to uncuff Gomez, she ran towards the school.
As soon as they uncuffed me, I jumped that first gate fence. And once I jumped it, I went to my son's class and I knocked on the door, and I remember the teacher saying, I'm like, hey, they're already bolt cutting the fence to get me. She's like, you think we have time to get out? I said, y'all have time. I'm going to run for my other son.
Once she was assured her son was okay, Gomez ran to get her other child, encountering more officers who tried to stop her.
So I start yelling, and I'm being cooperative, and I'm like, well, y'all aren't doing what are y'all doing? Y'all ain't doing y'all need to be in here. Give me your vest. Somebody give me a vest, something. And if anything, they were being more aggressive on us parents that were willing to go in there. And like I told one of the officers, I don't need you to protect me. Get away from me. I don't need your protection. If anything, I need you to go in there with me to go protect my kids. And if anything, they were being more aggressive on us. They were more pertained on keeping us back than getting into that school.
Now, notice how she doesn't describe the police as being present inside the school with her. She only describes them as chasing her into the school. So it would seem as though she is the only third party in the school in the story as she tells it. The other two parties being the students and staff and the shooter. She, in the way that she tells the story, and she doesn't accuse the cops of not being present, but the way she tells the story, and I believe her, I feel the honesty coming from her. The way she tells the story screams, it was me, these kids, and possibly this shooter in one of these rooms, and I was looking for my two sons. Now, thankfully, this woman was able to recover her two sons alive. But what it does beg the question is, why on God's green earth are they so bent out of shape about her talking? And what I believe is that there's a pretty good chance that they might have even lied about there being police officers on the ground inside the school. Now, were there police officers around the perimeter, securing the perimeter of the school? Sure, of course. But were there officers inside the school truly stacked up on that door? I doubt it. I doubt it. And I can't imagine how 19 officers could be stacked up on that door, communicating and talking to one another, and they don't receive fire from the shooter at all. The shooter doesn't shoot through the doors or anything. Come on. I don't mean to put my tinfoil hat on here, but there's a reason why the Uvalde police don't want this woman to share her opinion. There is a reason why they want her silent. She probably saw something that makes the story look even worse for them. It's already bad enough that they're refusing to cooperate with the FBI and other investigative agencies in Texas. It's bad enough that they've closed off City Hall to public inquirers, people who want to know just public information. They've closed down the City Hall, and now they're threatening a mother who had the balls to go inside the school and retrieve her children. They're threatening her with obstruction of justice if she continues to speak to the media? Who's on trial here? The Uvalde police? Well, can't even say the shooter. He's dead. So with him dead, it only leaves the Uvalde police with the hot potato in their hands burning. They're the ones that everyone's pissed at. The last thing they want is an actual eyewitness to the event speaking to the media and making them look bad. So now they have threatened to charge her with obstruction of justice if she chooses to speak out and tell the truth. You know, I fancy myself a conservative. I fancy myself someone who's right wing, at least maybe a libertarian, maybe a libertarian, but I consider myself center right. For me as a center right individual, to watch the police behave this way, I have no police bias. I'm not one of these back the blue no matter what kind of guys. I believe in down the line straight honesty and criticism. And what I saw right there with this behavior of we're not going to go inside the school, we're going to close off City Hall, we're going to try to charge this mom with obstruction of justice. This right here tells me that the police have gotten way too comfortable in the United States of America. Two things can be true at the same time. Do the police get a bad rap in America? Are a lot of police officers assumed to be bad simply because of their occupation? Of course. Is it also true that there is an epidemic of corruption within police forces all around America, especially with small police forces like this, where no one knows these towns? We wouldn't have known about Uvalde if it hadn't got shot up, right or wrong. So with that being said, with that in knowledge, these cops have gotten extremely comfortable with their position of power. And what's even more disturbing, folks, is the fact that the commander who told the police to stand down and not confront the shooter, you'd be surprised. In fact, you might be ecstatic. It might be a celebratory thing for you to know that he actually was running for a spot on city council. So this guy is in charge of these cops who are in charge or have been given the responsibility of responding to mass shooters. He tells them to stand down. Oh, and by the way, he runs a city hall, or at least has attempted to. He wants to be on city council. I can only imagine that he would run city hall. He might be behind why no one can access city hall, at least no one public. This circle of corruption is police-based, not civilian-based. At some point, we have to hold these people accountable. If not when grown, black, white men, whatever color of men being killed unjustly by the police, if that doesn't get you pissed off, it doesn't make you want to reform the police, this has to. When children die and the police don't take responsibility like grown men and women, there's a problem. There's a problem when career is prioritized over the safety of children. Heads have to roll here because somebody effed up. And there's no amount of career that can get in the way of responsibility here. And yet we see career getting in the way of responsibility. Let this be another reaffirmation to you that your safety is of your own. It is of your own responsibility to ensure that you and the people around you are safe. Because it becomes increasingly clear day by the day that the police, in a lot of cases, are not going to stick their necks out for you. That's what I've taken away from this. Protect yourself. Invest in your own protection and don't let somebody else tell you what guns you can or can't have, because it's getting to the point where America's getting wilder and wilder and the shootings are rising and you need to be able to defend yourself. Do not let other people dictate your freedom and right to defend yourself for you. America's getting crazier and crazier and the cops are terrified of dealing with the problem. Defend yourself.